Which of the following describes types of vaccines? So when we're saying types of vaccines, meaning that each vaccine you get might be slightly different depending on how it's produced and what types of ingredients are in it. So we want to differentiate each category of a vaccine, as opposed to if we look at option A, this is maybe referring to if you need 1 dose, 2 dose, maybe the types, how many doses are needed for the vaccines, but it's not describing actual types of vaccines. There's no such thing as a single vaccine versus a double vaccine in terms of how it's produced. So we could look at that quickly and we could eliminate option A. Are there any others that maybe we could quickly eliminate? Maybe option D, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary. Similar to option A, maybe someone might see that and think of how many doses they need, but this also might be just a trick to make you think of types of protein structures, but it's not used to describe types of vaccines. So we can eliminate option G early on also. Okay, great. So now we've narrowed down our choices to 2, option B and option C. Option B is antibody dependent, antigen dependent, and then option C is live attenuated, inactivated, toxoid, subunit. And so when we think about different types of vaccines, we can think of different categories. We could think of, we have live vaccines. We've also have inactivated vaccines based on what ingredients are inside it, how it was developed. We could have subunit or recombinant. We could have toxoid. We could have mRNA. These are all different categories for vaccines, and they're used to describe different things about the vaccines. For example, live attenuated could be where it still is living, whatever the disease is, however, it's weakened. So it's weakened so that you won't actually get very ill from it, but enough to build immunity within the body, but the actual disease is still present. It's just a weakened version of it, as opposed to an inactivated means that it's actually killed, so it's killed out, but you still are able to get the immunity from the killed infection. We have subunit / recombinant, which means that there's some parts that are in there when you get the vaccine. We have toxoid. An example of that could be like the tetanus vaccine. So tetanus, that would be an example of a toxoid. And it means that there's an inactivated toxin here that can't actually be active, but it still is present in the vaccine to build the immunity. And then you could also have mRNA, which means that there's some genetic instruction in there that is useful for immune response. So genetic. So these are different categories of types of vaccines, which is what the question is describing. And all of these things seem to match option C here, which is your live, attenuated, inactivated, toxoid, subunit. These are all types of vaccines. And we could also eliminate option B, antibody dependent versus antigen dependent. That just seems to be describing antibody versus antigen, but that's not a type of vaccine. So we can eliminate option B. So option C would be our correct choice here.